Dire team ban.
And we're back for game number 2 of this best of 3. Kaipi taking on Team Empire. And yeah, I just saw one of the best reverse polarities of my entire life. And if you were watching here on the stream, you done did saw it too. It was freaking amazing. And the player's name is Arise, by the way. I was educated by my viewership. And apparently I don't ring so good. You would think that would be obvious, given it's just AR1SE. However, at the very least, as I understand that LD was doing the same thing on the Beyond the Summit stream, trying to make it some complex kind of a name. Arisi, nope, it's simply Arise. And I'll tell you what, it's not a name I'm likely to forget anytime soon, because if you missed game 1, you need to go watch it for no other reason than one gigantic play. Empire picked a team that I really thought was going to have a chance to shut Kaipi down. They had a lot of tools in their toolbox to deal with Anti-Mage, and that's really the hard part of playing against an Anti-Mage, is he's so damn survivable because of the low cooldown on his blink. The distance on his blink is kind of nuts as well, to say nothing of how quickly he will get up some survivability items like a Manta style, BKB, if that's the direction they want to go. But having the Puck, having the Bounty Hunter in particular, they had the ability to shut that hero down, and they were in really good shape after Kaipi gave up an extremely ugly 5-man wipe in mid, lost the tier 1 because of it and everything. And Empire at that time was just about to have Bounty Hunter with level 2 track, and I really thought the game was going to spiral out of control from there. But Empire inexplicably pulled back and decided to play passively. And because of that, Kaipi had all the time in the world to get their Anti-Mage farmed up, and before long, he was just hitting so hard. And I'll tell you what's even more baffling to me is the fact that they gave so little farm priority to the Lifestealer. Blow Your Brain just didn't feel relevant after a while. He just felt as if he was a physical damage dealer, and for 6 seconds when he raged, plus open wounds, he was going to be able to give you some damage. But towards the end, it didn't matter. I mean, you just saw Eternal Envy on the Anti-Mage just basically running up to any 3-4 members of the enemy team and just not caring. And you know, just a lot of questionable plays out of Empire, and very unlike them, uncharacteristic to find themselves being that out of control of a match. I mean, Empire will throw away some games once in a while. You will see them take some ugly losses, but it's because they do tend to play very aggressive and what I term deliberate Dota. And, you know, every caster has their own vocabulary of casting terms. That's one that I've been using for a while. Deliberate Dota is everything you do as a team and as an individual has a specific purpose and goal, and either it works or it doesn't. Sometimes you play Deliberate Dota and you lose really ugly at 25 minutes because you just never accomplished any of your goals. And sometimes you win a game in 20 minutes because you accomplish every goal. But it's a very specific style that tends to manifest itself in ultra aggression and in very, very laser-focused lineups. And that's just been the definition of Empire for a long time, Empire Dota, I should say, for a long time. And they just got away from that when they really had a lineup that should have been able to capitalize on it. But moving on, we're into game number 2. Kaipi leads 1-0, and if they upset Empire here, Empire's donezo. Like in phase 1, we do have a losers bracket that begins tomorrow with our second phase of the Western qualifiers. Teams knocked out in phase 1 do not get an entry into the losers bracket. So if Empire loses this second game, they are done. They're gone completely from the Western qualifiers, and Kaipi will have given us arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, upsets in the entire G1 so far. And there were some good upsets in the G1 Asia qualifier as well. So anyway, as it stands, we can see the picks and the bans coming out. Wisp and Nyx banned out by Kaipi. Keeper of the Light as well as the Bat taking their exit courtesy of Empire. And now this lineup makes a lot more sense to me. This lineup, and, you know, I was actually talking with some of my colleagues during the downtime, and where I think Empire, the first bit of trouble they found themselves in is Lifestealer is not a hero who does particularly well as a solo carry. And by a solo carry, I mean he doesn't really have anyone else to carry any water for him in terms of just getting items and having farm priority and so on. He is an excellent hero when he has someone else reliable to do damage, and usually you want that other hero to scale better into the late game than he will. Lone Druid is a good example of that. Gyrocopter is a good option, so on and so forth. But now with Empire having the Druid and the Lifestealer, what they can do, instead of having Lifestealer in this passive role like we saw before, they can just have him being a part of an aggressive playstyle with 4 heroes while the Druid farms up his core items. That's really where you see a Lifestealer shine, especially if he gets a good start and is able to get a good armlet or drums, phase, whatever he wants. You know, first couple of middle cost items like that, if he can get those up at a decent clip, he actually can really hit an early peak and do quite well. But anyway, that was last game. Kaipi has got a lot of team fight already. Happy to see them first pick a mag and hope to see my man arise on that hero. Again, I honestly don't know that I've ever seen a better reverse polarity. I really don't. I was thinking about that during the break, and I said it was one of the best I'd ever seen. And racking my mind, I've seen 1 or 2 other 5-man reverse polarities in professional Dota. I saw some good ones in the D2L. But that one, I think, takes the cake because he came from nowhere. It's one thing if the enemy team, the enemy team obviously made a mistake converging on a very narrow piece of ridge right near the enemy's ancient stack. But regardless, it was just phenomenal. He came from out of nowhere, and it was a GG moment. As soon as the RP hit, everyone, aside from yelling, at least like I was, aside from that, I think everyone knew at that moment it was GG. Unquestionably, inexorably, it was GG. But looking at Kaipi, they've got a lot of team fight in the Clockwork and the Mag. They've also got the very strong support of Bane, very wide open, and what carries they want to pick up. The Anti-Mage Phantom Lancer banned out by Empire. Gyrocopter still in the pool would be a good option here. And depending on how they want to run this, I don't like the draft of Kaipi so far, to be honest. They've got... One thing I do like is they do have options to deal with the Lone Druid's Bear and to deal with Lifestealer, being able to Nightmare... the Lifestealer and or the Fiend's Grip. Fiend's Grip is really what makes Bane such a great counter to Lifestealer, but you can't sleep on Enfeeble either. The ability for Bane to Enfeeble the Bear, then turn and Nightmare the Druid, then to Fiend's Grip the Lifestealer. Like, by himself, he has the tools, if he's in a good position and he's not engaged upon, to take those 2 heroes out of the equation entirely. Clockwork, excellent at dealing with the Lifestealer as well. Hook shot in, lay down your cogs, and it's just you and the LS. And if there's one big liability the Lifestealer has, it's the fact that he has to get a lot of traction during his 6-second rage time. He has to do his damage then. Once that wears off, he is a rather unimpressive hero in most regards. Doesn't even have good armor early. So that's really the crux of the hero, and they have a lot of options between the Bane and the Clockwork to take him out. What I'm worried about, though, is they've got answers to LS and Lone Druid, and they've got the RP of Mag, but other than that, their damage is lacking. They're going to have Brain Sap out of Bane, a little bit of spam ability from Rocket Flare from Clockwork, and of course Shockwave. But they're very thin. Bane, Clockwork, Venomancer, if picked off and initiated upon, very easy to blow up, especially if they're behind in levels, and usually Clockwork will be behind in levels because he tends to wind up in the off lane. Kill potential is there for Kaipi. They may think about doing an offensive tri-lane here. A Gyrocopter, Bane, Venomancer lane would actually be very, very dangerous. But Empire, I think, is going to be offensively tri-laning this as well. You usually want to try and get that Lone Druid a solo lane. They could mid him if they want, but Leshrac Rubik Lifestealer is a very, very potent offensive tri-lane, and now they would just need a solid mid pickup. Quap taken out, so we can see Kaipi thinking the same thing. The reach of Puck not going to be at their disposal this time around either. And really, it's hard to call for either side. Defensive tri-lanes could make sense if they wanted to. They could even mid the Lifestealer if they feel good about that matchup, if they feel confident that it is going to be a Magnus. LS can do quite well there, and get good levels at the very least. And, there's an Ursa in this game. Now I'm excited. Get to see the Bear. I haven't seen an Ursa played. When was the last time I saw Ursa picked? I want to say he was picked in D2L Season 1. Want to say it was. I get to see an Ursa. But I'll tell you what's really cool about that pickup now. Now that I like. That all of a sudden makes this lineup congealed to me. He's not going to be in an offensive tri-lane. They're anticipating the offensive tri-lane out of Empire, I do believe. So they're going to defensively tri-lane this, try to get Ursa off to a good start. But Ursa is one of the few heroes that even when Lifestealer is raged and has an armlet, Ursa could just say, that's fine, I've got Lifesteal. How about I just blow your face off and tear it off and wear it as a bear hat? Because that's what we do, apparently. And I don't know what a bear hat is, but I'm going to imagine it looks like a Lifestealer face. So his ability to cope with the LS, to cope with the Lone Druid's Bear, that's actually really, really smart. So we get to see a multi-bear game with the Druid and the Ursa. I'm so happy. Now we want to see our last pickup, and they're going to go with the Windrunner. So I think that could... I honestly don't know what they're going to do here. They could honestly mid the Druid, off lane. Yeah, I bet that's what they're going to do now. They may end up midding the Druid because of that. Seeing the Ursa come out, we'll have to wait and see. This is so fascinating. I can't wait to see how this is going to work. I'll tell you what's going to be disgusting is an empowered Ursa. Empower from Magnus is going to just make this bear scary. Usually in a game, you talk a lot about the scariness of a lone Druid's bear. This bear going to be terrifying. And yeah, we can see they're not going to be doing anything but running a defensive tri-lane. Empire, what I was going to say I think Empire is going to do is mid the Druid and then off-lane the Windrunner. And Scandal on the Druid. I don't know. They're going to mid. Huh. Okay, now that's interesting. We'll have to wait and see. This worries me for Empire. Because this lane, with Nightmare, with Enfeeble, they're going to actually be able to kill that bear pretty easily. At least and when you compare it to how hard it is usually to bring this bear down. First point from Zizu hasn't been placed yet. But between the Gale, between Nightmare, between Earthshock, if we see an early point go into that for No Morals, I'm going to guess that's actually Eternal Envy. This is just, it's really interesting. And I like Empire's draft for the most part. Again, taking the pressure off of the Lifestealer, getting yourself the Lone Druid. But this Druid going in the off lane, to me, feels like it kind of defeats the purpose. Why not send the Windrunner to the off lane? Mag in mid's no surprise. And you could even do something like, I mean, the Lone Druid in mid would have been just fine. And yeah, look at this. Look how dead this bear is. And there's the Nightmare. And yeah, this bear is going to be gone. That's a free 100 gold. And that's going to happen over and over. That's level 1. So Scandal is going to get nothing here. I really don't like this lane. Would have been much more effective to send the Druid to mid. Guarantee he at the very least soaks up a lot of levels. Let Vigos or whoever they wanted to put on the heroes run the Windrunner off lane, who can take some chances, who can maybe soak up some experience just from the safety of Windrun. And yeah, they're actually sending. We'll see if he's going to go ahead and go to top. Not if he's just going to ward out and do a little counter warding as well. But the Druid's actually sacked this already, I think. Where are you going, Scandal? I mean, he can't even summon the bear yet. He's completely out of lane. Ursa's going to be getting solo experience. Scandal just needs to go to the jungle. He is going to get nothing done in this bottom lane. Yeah, and that's where he's going. And the lane choices just don't make a ton of sense to me. Just do not once again. And I'll be honest, this is the second game in a row where Empire's choice of lanes has really just been suspect. The Lifestealer obviously is going to get his farm. So at the very least, they got that going for them. But you do not want an Ursa with free farm, okay? What makes Ursa a hero who is so rarely picked at the professional level? There are two parts to it. One, his lane presence is very, very low early. It's easy to kite him at any point in the game. Any point in the game, he's easy to be kited. Even with the BKB and phase boots, you can still kite him relatively easily if you have at least one or two decent skills designed to stun or to go through magic immunity. But usually that translates to an offensive tri lane in his face, shut down his farm, keep him behind, don't let him get ahead. When he gets ahead is when you see snowball Ursas. I remember who it was. The last player I saw play Ursa was Fear from Evil Geniuses. He went mid against Crit, who was on DD at that time. And it basically looked like I think this game may look. The Ursa got ahead in levels, he got ahead in farm. He took a very fast Roshan, and then in every fight, he just used Fury swipes and just killed everyone. He would swipe once and the entire team would vaporize, and then he'd say something funny about the woods and protecting his cubs as he walked and killed another tower. And the draft from Kaipi, I liked it. I felt like they were a little bit too much all in on shutting down the Lifestealer in the mid game and dealing with the bear. But with the reliable damage and the way that these lanes are working out for Ursa, I think it's going to end up working out quite well for them. Clockwork, at the very least, is sucking up some experience. He's almost level 3. Leshrax, level 2. Blow Your Brain. As mentioned, he's doing okay in farm. He's at 16, 19 for Magnus, 20 for the Ursa Warrior. And so long as they can continue to farm well down here, this Ursa is just going to be an absolute terror. And again, the Empower. And this might actually be one of those games. Usually when you see Magnus's skill, they do something like max shockwave, and then obviously they take RP when they can, but they'll max their shockwave and their skewer, and then just get points into Empower once there's nowhere else to put points but stats. We might see him go a 4-2. A 4-2-2, I should say, at the very least. And he may even max Empower after getting just 2 ranks in the skewer. 2 ranks is more than enough range for the most part. Especially if you play in a Russia Blink Dagger, which every Magnus in history does for the most part. He's already making good progress towards his Arcane Boots. We're 4 minutes in. He's got himself a bottle. His tier 1s and a DD room going to be watched out for by the Clockwork. A little pre-ruining action. This Ursa, though, free farm is dangerous. He's already got up his phase boots. He is going to be so farmed and so over-leveled the longer they let this go. Because right now, Bane is sucking nothing but creep experience out of the jungle. Same with Venomancer. Venomancer is nowhere near Ursa. This is 100% solo experience. He's almost level 6. He's going to be level 6 at 4.5 minutes into this game. Lifestealer's even behind, and Lifestealer's getting the similar treatment. But the way that Kaipi's playing this, they have a ginormous advantage. And when you look at Empire, they don't have a Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon was, is, and shall always be, until Ice Frog decides to change a hero, if he ever does, the perfect answer to an Ursa. You disrupt him, or better yet, disrupt the target he engages on. And we're going to have an immediate TP. Here we go. Cogs go down, and Ursa's there. And he's going to look for a return kill. Gets in front of the Cogs. There we go. And there's the Earth Shock. There's the Fury Swipes, and that's a dead. Blow your brain. And Rubik being chased out. Another Earth Shock. This is a hungry bear who now has 2 faces on his head. He's wearing 2 bear hats, is what I'm telling you. First Blood goes the way of Empire, but, I mean, what did they expect to happen? And now Scandal's made his way back in the lane. Bane finally getting a little bit of solo experience. But this is just beautifully done by Kaipi. Beautifully, I won't even say beautifully drafted, because I really did not like their draft that much to begin. They've been helped out a lot by the way Empire chose to lane this. Their Druid's going to be way behind. I mean, Druid right now has less farm than Bane, okay? That's the state of things. We're at 6 minutes in, he's level 3. Zizou's almost level 6. And Windrunner is doing okay, but not great. She's got 29 last hits, and Windrunner's going to be of good use to you. Power shot. I mean, when you run a Windrunner in a solo lane like this and give her this much priority, it's usually for 2 reasons. One, you want good spamability out of Power Shot. Power Shot actually does a ridiculous amount of damage if she's over-leveled. I mean, the damage stays... You get what I'm saying. It always does the same amount of damage for each level, each game. But when she's ahead in levels, a level 4 Power Shot can literally be taking away half of the health bar of a support who's, 3, 4, 5 levels below her. So you tend to do that. Then you also usually want to get up one very important item. Mech is usually the choice. Sometimes you'll see something like an Orchid, a Scythe of Ice rushed out. But for the most part, you give a Windrunner that much, and wow, here we go. He's going to go ahead and drop the Cogs. Help's it coming, though. And Ursa's there along with Pile Die. Yep, that's a dead blow your brain. Nothing he's going to be able to do. Earth shocked after the Venomous Gale. Split Earth's going to be there, but look how tanky he is already. Eating a Split Earth and not caring. And there's a Shackle Shot. Nice shot there. There's the damage from that Power Shot I was talking about. But Bane showing up at the right place at the right time, and this is beginning to look like a pub game. This Ursa is getting out of control. They get a kill on the bear. That's 4-2. All 4 of the kills for Kaipi belong to Eternal Envy. Okay, Dota fans, how many times have you played a game where an Ursa starts a game like this and it gets out of control quickly? And now with the Empower, he's already hitting for 110 damage. Just pure right-click, to say nothing of Fury Swipes and Overpower. Magnus did max Shockwave. We'll see what he wants to do next. I'll tell you something else that Empire's done that I'm really questioning. Is they opted to go Midas on Lifestealer. Why? Your Lone Druid has had an awful start. Your lanes have collapsed. You've lost every single lane as of right now. Well, you didn't lose mid. I don't think. Actually, you did. You lost mid. You lost every single lane. And the one hero that can give you reliable damage. Oh, hang on. Now, tower's going to drop. There's a brain sap on Vigos. They do manage to clean up the Venomancer. There's an enfeeble on Blow Your Brain. Cogs are going to catch him. Bane's right there. He's going to have 15 seconds until he has Fiend's Grip. There's the Infest into the creep. Mag is there as well. Mag has an RP if he wants to spend it. And I hear Ursa. Yep, here he comes. There's the Nightmare. Earth Shock cleans it up. RP spent and wasted. Arise. I'm going to let that one go. the RP at the end of... this is out of control. This is ridiculous. I am just baffled at how Empire allowed themselves to get into this position. And it seems like they've made it worse at every turn. And I hate to be that negative caster guy, but what else can you say? You've got an Ursa that's 6-0 at 9 minutes in. You lost every single lane. Your Lone Druid has an Orb of Venom and a set of boots. Your Lone Druid, in terms of net worth, is worth less than Bane. Just baffling. Utterly baffling. And Kaipi has come out a-swinging and a-swinging hard. The Vlad's is done on Eternal Envy now. I didn't even have a chance to run through our lineups. I don't know that it matters at this stage. We're talking a 4,000 gold lead in the grand scheme of things is not the end of the world. A 4,000 gold lead at 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in, that's insane. It is so hard to build that kind of a lead at this stage of the game. And Empire even got first blood. But, I mean, the choices they're making, handicapping Blow Your Brain, and yes, that Midas is going to pay off eventually. But eventually is Lone Druid's job, if you catch my drift. Eventually is why you pick the Lone Druid. You want core items up on that Lifestealer quick so that this doesn't happen. So that Ursa doesn't just get every item in history within 20 minutes, go solo Roche. He could honestly go solo Roche easily right now. And this may be a dead Venomancer. I don't think there's any made to it. It will be a dead Venomancer. Gets off his ulti, but cleaned up, so at the very least, Empire counter punches there. Look at the damage done from his ulti. And yeah, they need to just push here. There's no reason for them not to push this middle lane. Those heroes have to all go heal. They cannot TP and come fight. So even in death, Venomancer secures a tower kill for his team. There's no way they can contest this. No way at all. And I mean, Vigos did his job. I don't think Windrunner had any business in middle lane. Why not give that to your Druid against a Magnus? And Blow Your Brain trying to do what he can up at top. He's got his claws of attack up. But, I mean, we're going to have a Rise with a Blink Dagger soon. Our Clockwork just hit 6, so he now has Hook as well as Phase Boots. And this game feeling very, very out of reach already. Empire, though, a team who has made comebacks in the past, and we could talk about what they can do now. In a pure out-and-out Turtle Fest, they will win. If they take this game to 50 minutes, fill the inventory of the Druid and the Lifestealer, they win. Ursa, as scary as he is, cannot outdamage that. He will not be able to at any stage. Magnus, though, guarantees that he's going to be hitting his peak a lot earlier. And taking a look at his items, I want to see, he actually picked up a Blink Dagger. You pick up a Blink Dagger on a Ursa at 12 minutes in, you don't do that because you want to farm and go late. You do that because you're going to fight right now. Right meow. And Mag gets his Blink Dagger as well. And I'll tell you what's terrifying is if Arise is able to hit... Oh, they're going to get the Courier. That certainly helps them a lot. But if they're able to land good RPs, if Arise is able to play like he did in Game 1, Ursa's going to eat many a face. Speaking of faces getting eaten off, there we go. And now the cogs go down, and Ursa going to be able to kill one. At least, and Arise with another good skewer. And off of that, they should just go take Roche. Absolutely. Roshan, peace out. And Ursa says, I've got a nice collection of faces. Roshan, I think... I mean, Roshan, I guess he kind of has a face. It's more of a snout. I don't know what you'd even call that, really. It's I mean, he's got AI, an eye, mandibles. That's what he has. So he's going to stick the mandibles on his head, make another bear hat. And that'll be that. 9-5, 14 kills on the board in a 13-minute game, but right now this is so in favor of Kaipi. They do need to continue to press the issue, though. They need to not make the mistake that Empire made. The big mistake that Empire made in Game 1 was letting off the gas when they were in good shape. I don't think Kaipi is going to do that, though. You don't pick an Ursa against a Lone Druid and a Lifestealer because you feel confident going to 50. You pick him because you want to fight, you want to put this game away by 25. You want the GG out before 30, literally. You do not want to let the game go any further than that. And now Empire has to decide how much are they willing to commit to defending. I don't know that they can defend with less than 5, though. I honestly think that if they try to defend with 4, that Kaipi can push to the well. I honestly think they can right now. That's how far ahead they are. And Ursa going looking for a target. Not going to spend his Fury swipes, or his Overpower. Or he will. Either way. There's a tower done. If they back off, I'll be stunned. And Windrunner going to Windrun away. There is absolutely no reason for them not to push through to Tier 2. Alright, they're going to back off. Playing it safe, I suppose. Magnus continues to farm up. I got a feeling if Arise were there, they would have pushed through. But yeah. Another tower drops, and Empire on the back foot and 1 game away from elimination here in the Western qualifiers of the G-1 Champions League. Kaipi looking to shock the world. Now, these two teams played yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it was a big point battle. I want to say it was the semifinals, and Empire 2-0'd them. Today, though, Kaipi has had their number, absolutely. And now they're going to look to go ahead and rotate, bring down the Tier 2 in mid. And there we go. He takes a blind blink and spins the Earth Shock. TP reactions are... Oh, Blow's actually going to be caught with the Fiend's Grip, but it's canceled out by Zizou. Piece of miscommunication. Wow. That is a... Let's see, is that going to latch? That should... it's close. I think it's a little out of range. I think the latch range is something like I can't draw whenever it's paused. Venomancer have legs. I ran into the tower. But anyway, while we have this moment, I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the broadcast here on One More Game TV2. You're watching the G1 Champions League. Kaipi taking on Empire in our first match of the day. Our second match going to be the QPAD Red Pandas taking on Dignitas. It'll be coming your way at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Make that 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time. And I'm just hoping this isn't... He timed out from TeamSpeak. I'm hoping this isn't a fiasco like we went through yesterday. Pylite die, disconnected. And don't rush us, please. But for those who don't know or haven't read or are wondering what I'm referring to, it's the Chinese lag out 50 minutes daily. But anyway... Yesterday we had a very long period of downtime, and it was a very similar situation to what happened in the DreamHack Invitational. And apparently, DDoS attacks on teams have become more and more standard now. I won't say that; that's an exaggeration. They have been happening more frequently. It was something that has happened in StarCraft before, but had not become a real epidemic in Dota quite yet. But in the DreamHack Invitational, there were some teams targeted. Yesterday, EG had 2 players targeted by it. And what I'm hoping is that this is not an example of that being done again. Want to thank everyone for your patience. Thank everyone for being a part of the show. I don't even have to look. I'm not looking at the chat, but I guarantee people are asking for my... So yesterday I told the tale of the padlock and the forest fire. What everybody wants to hear now is the tale of the real McCoy and Las Vegas. Someday I'll get around to it. The tale of, well, I think the aspect everybody seems to be more interested in is my high school teacher. 16-year-old AC. Yeah, that was one of the more embarrassing stories in my whole life. Really funny, though. Really funny. And we'll see how long this is going to take. Hopefully, not as long as it did yesterday. Want to once again welcome in everyone. If this is the first time you've ever heard my voice, hope we'll have you back in the future. Would love it if you would hit follow here on One More Game TV too. Would love it equally if you'd follow me on the various social networks. On Twitter, it's at AC, at AYESEE. You can also find my personal Twitch account, ACTV, AYESEE TV. And I've actually been putting a lot of thought into what I can do on ACTV more. I've got I want to say 1,500 followers on it or whatever. I think I've only taken it live 5 times because anytime I get a chance to broadcast a tournament like the G-1, I bring it live on One More Game TV too. This is where I'm known to be, and building this brand is really, really important to me. And so I do need to have some content over on the other channel. And I may just end up having literally having like story time once a week or something. Many very kind viewers have been asking as well that I get a subscription/donation button up. And that's going to be something I'm going to work on very soon as well. So want to thank all of you guys for being as kind as you are. And hopefully I can get that going. But and let's see. Yeah, a little smack talk between El Luminous and Eternal Envy. But hopefully we'll be back underway shortly here, guys. I'll tell you what, while we have a moment, how about we go ahead and take a look at our bracket, and we can talk about the way things are looking as of today. Absolute legends. And again, it was the Evil Geniuses AL series yesterday where the DDoS attacks came in, and the G1 admins made what I think is a fair ruling in a very unpleasant situation, giving the win to AL due to the fact that it was EG lagging out, and it was just a really unpleasant situation. For those who were here yesterday, if you'd like to hear the tale of the tale of the padlock and the forest fire again, you can hear that over on my YouTube channel. It should be done uploading by now, I think. I started it. I cut it out of Twitch and started it uploading earlier, so it should be there. But anyway, AL getting the advancement there, and they meet Team Liquid. That'll be taking place. I'm pretty sure we play that out tomorrow, actually. And Mousesports, who beat Virtus Pro, they advanced to take on Alliance, and that should be played tomorrow as well. Obviously, today, we're in the midst of our first best-of-3, Kaipi taking on Team Empire, and Fnatic EU awaiting the winner of this match. Kaipi looking to be in good shape, not going to lie. I think they're in great shape to close this out sometime very soon, and just flat-out upset Empire. There's no other way to say it. Empire losing this early in any tournament is a gigantic upset. And Kaipi really showing their potential today. If Empire does manage to battle back and force a Game 3 and take a win, though, it will be a rematch of of 2 teams that were in the D2L playoffs. Fnatic finishing 4th in the D2L playoffs, eliminated by Empire there. So can't say I'd mind seeing a rematch of those 2 teams. Really good series, really good anytime those 2 teams square off. And our second series of the day will be Q-Pad Pandas taking on Team Dignitas. And Dignitas on a roll, man. Dignitas coming up second in the D2L playoffs, aforementioned playoffs, I should say. And if I'm not mistaken, they were the team that knocked Empire down to the lower bracket. And Liquid beat them. No, actually, let me think. It was Liquid. No, it was Liquid versus Empire. Liquid beat them twice. And Dignitas, yeah, I remember now. But anyway, Dignitas on a roll. If I'm not mistaken, I could very well be. But I'm pretty sure Dignitas is also in the DreamHack Invitational Grand Finals right now. And finishing second in the D2L and just playing all around good Dota. But always a lot of buzz around the Red Pandas, with names like Wagamama, Sing Sing, and Select. And Select's really the interesting part of that team to me, because I was a StarCraft guy. I met Select back when he was a very good StarCraft 2 player for Dignitas. So, a little connection there, I guess you could say. But yeah, Select it's not like I could call him a best friend or anything, but a really nice guy. And I met him, I want to say it was at MLG Anaheim in 2011 was the first time I met him. But anxious to see him switching games and getting to finally cast that team. I've never broadcasted that team as of right now anyway. So we are continuing to wait a little while. I'm going to pop out to the chat, see if there's any questions or whatever. Treat it as a rain delay. Another chance for me to answer questions from you guys. Let's see. The hot teacher question mark. Please don't close. Just close the bet. Let's see. Oh, still waiting. I'm still reading through the chat, so sorry. Story time, story time. I don't want to start the tale of the real McCoy in Las Vegas right now, just because I feel like he is going to be back. If we try to reload, I'll do it. I'll tell that story. But for right now, still waiting just a little while. And no reports out of the background as of yet. But hoping we'll hear something very, very soon. Anyway, guys, during this downtime, I'll tell you something you can do. There's a lot of great content over at G1.2p.com. That's your coverage hub for the G1 Champions League. They've got a great caster hub with the new widescreen format just put in by the man with the plan known as Chen Carson. Much love to him and all that he's done day to day for us. So you can check out your casting hub there. You can interact with us in real time on Twitter as well. And again, lots of good articles, write-ups if you're looking for brackets that are full. If you need any information whatsoever, make sure you check out G1.2p.com. It is the sponsor's main page as well, and we want to make them happy. Even if, just go take a look. Even if you don't plan to stay there, don't plan to bookmark it, go take a look. Get to know 2p.com. Get to know their role in this tournament, because the G1 responsible in large part because of them, and I would absolutely love it if you would be willing to support them. So it looks like we're going to continue to wait a little while. Yeah, looks like Tusky asking, how long? EGAL virus. Some people whisper flood. He DC'd from everything. Looks like he might be gone for good. And that would be genuinely unpleasant, because I'll be blunt. I feel like Kaipi's in position to close this match out. The Lone Druid and the Lifestealer are woefully underfarmed right now. The Lifestealer has his armlet up. I mean, he's at 16, but he only has tier 1 boots. 16 minutes. And the Ursa could just blow his face up. He could be wearing a Lifestealer hat very easily, and this Druid is. Poor guy has not had a fun game. Scandal continuing to struggle right now. Bear with every bit of phase and an orb of venom and a set of tranks on the Druid himself, so nowhere near any real impact item at all. All right. I don't... Let me think of a shorter story. I'll save the tale of the real McCoy in Las Vegas for another time, when I know I have time. I'll tell that story on my personal stream at some point, so make sure you follow ACTV, twitch.tv/ACTV to hear that. He's trying, but his net, I'm going to guess there's a second part to that sentence. Let me think of another really, really good story. See, it's so hard whenever you're not just reminded of it organically. When it's real easy to come up with a story just because something reminds you of it. All right, here's one. This goes to my other career. I've had a number of careers so far. I worked in broadcasting and radio for 4 or 5 years. Then I worked as a bartender for a while. That was an interesting time in my life. That was also during the, and I've joked about this before, is, I get asked, AC, are you married? It's like, well, I was engaged once. There is absolutely no good story that follows those words. If you ask them if they're married, the answer is either yes or no. If there's a middle ground answer, like I was engaged once or I came close, then you can bet it's not a pleasant story. But anyway, it was during that time of my life I worked as a bartender. But this focuses on my time in print publication. Okay, so what I did, and I'm not going to run through my whole life story. Let's just skip to me deciding to open a business, me and a colleague, 2 colleagues actually, deciding to open a business that serviced the campus of West Virginia University. It was a print publication, a news, economic, and political journal, and I was very politically active at that time. I have gotten completely away from it now, and very happy to do so. Politics is a dirty, dirty business. I actually worked on a congressional campaign. As I wasn't a campaign manager, I was an advisor, a media advisor, and a public relations advisor. It was awful. I will never, ever work in politics again. But at that time, I was very active. So me and my colleague are offered an opportunity to go to a conference that is held in Washington, D.C. And I'm not going to name drop it. It's a fairly well known, but I don't want to get into that. But anyway, we're invited to go, and this is when, this is more than a few years ago. This is like 2008, 2009. I want to say it was 2008 actually. So this is in 2008. I'm like 23 years old, so I was still pretty young. And I am 28 for those who are wondering, but I'm 28 now. So anyway, we go to this conference, and it's billed as an educational / networking conference, right? So we go there, and they put us up in our own rooms, and we're all there. Everybody's all highfalutin. We're a bunch of relatively young guys and gals, I should say. But that was when I was a little bit more wild in my life. So we go, and like during the day, we're in conferences and meetings for 6 to 8 hours a day, and it's really good networking and all this great stuff. Then at night, because we're there for 3 days, I think, 3 or 4 days on the dime of the conference itself. Like they had paid us to come because they viewed us because we were opening a new publication that had a political element to it. They viewed us as two people who they wanted to get their mitts on, basically. They wanted to try and use their influence to use us as an extension of them. So they pay for us to be there. The travel's all paid. Again, we're given our own rooms. We were staying for free at the Hilton, and that was awesome. And we were even given a daily spending money stipend. So, we just ate cheap and then went out drinking. Like, that's just what we did. We'd spend we got $100 a day or something like that. And we'd eat like one meal a day for like $6 from McDonald's and then spend the rest on booze the rest of the day. So we get out, and right across the street from where the conference is being held is a little bar called O'Sullivan's. And this is in a beautiful part of D.C., by the way. It's in an area called Clarendon, which I absolutely loved, like absolutely adored. And actually, we went to a place called the Ballroom first. Then we went to O'Sullivan's afterwards. So we're there, and it was just one of those nights that is always going to live in legend. And I guess I got to think of the tale of this. We'll call this the tale, the tale of the pool table, and I'll think of a full title for it. But so anyway, we go to the ballroom. It's a dance club. We meet some chicks. And we take the girls over to O'Sullivan's for a nightcap. It's like, 1:30 in the morning by the time we leave the ballroom. And we're just looking to have some shots and, look to either close the deal or go back and sleep. And, those conference days were long as it was because we were hungover every freaking day. We basically were sitting in the back looking important and looking as if we were hyper-focused on the materials in front of us, and we tended to be halfway passed out, dehydrated as hell. But, so we're there. And, we had there were like 3 girls that were in a group. They hooked up with us, so we brought them over to O'Sullivan's, but they just disappeared. Every guy's had that experience where everything seems to be going good. Then you turn your back, you're doing shots, and all of a sudden, one person goes, "We got to go," and just they vanish like a fart in the wind. They're just gone. So everything's winding down, and we're kind of having a good time. And there's actually another story I could tell about O'Sullivan's, but this is the shorter one. So... I should say the more easily accessible one. So anyway, they call last call. And as I said, I like to drink a lot. At that time of my life, I ran up to the bar and said 4 shots of Jameson. And my plan was 2 for me, 2 for my bro. But immediately, a girl comes up and says, "I want a shot of Jameson." And she wasn't like asking me to order. Like she was talking to the bartender. She was like 3 feet down the bar from me. I just happened to overhear it. So trying to be super slick dude that I am, I slide her a shot. It hits her hand. It spills on her hand. And, I have to do, "Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I was trying to be a clever guy." She laughs it off. And so we end up buying more shots. And it ended up with me, her, and my buddy doing 3 shots of Jamie for the last call. And just as where they turn the lights on, they're kicking all the boozers out. That chick who went out ahead of us all of a sudden hollers from inside of a cab. She goes, "Hey, you guys want to keep the party going?" And we're tuned up as hell by then. So we're like, "Yeah, let's go." We jump in the cab with this chick that I never knew her name. I never will know her name. So we jump in this cab. And we're in D.C. I've been to D.C. a lot, but it's not like I know the area. I know parts of it, but it's not like I know where my way around at all. So it looks like we're going to have to continue soon. So anyway, we get to this chick's house, right? I don't know the situation, but I'm going to guess, because she was pretty young. Like, she was probably 21. And I'm going to guess it was her parents' house, because it's like this beautiful, unbelievably stereotypical 1%er kind of a house. I mean, it had like, it was like this beautiful estate almost. And it had like, you know, a lawn. It's down in Arlington. Probably a half million, I won't say $1 million house. Wasn't quite on that. It was probably $700,000 in value. I mean, it was just gorgeous. Had the kind of place where you expect to see 3 staff members, all of varying ethnicities on any given morning. You know what I mean? That kind of place. Little snooty, little highfalutin. And it's packed out. There's like a dozen people there. And I'm going to guess it was this chick's house or like her sister's house or something. So we get there, and there's just this party that's raging. But it's a very, again, kind of highfalutin party. People are, you know, they're playing like Sublime and drinking champagne from champagne glass. It's like, come on, man. You know, get it together. If you're going to have a party and you're in your mid-20s, you know, if you want to drink champagne, then put on some nice clothes, go drink some champagne. You know, do your thing. It just makes no sense to me to be all like, oh, you know, welcome to the party. Let's turn on our what I got while I drink my parents' champagne. But anyway, little highfalutin for my taste, but what the hell? It was free booze, right? So we're there, and my buddy's like getting in real good with this chick, and I'm thinking he's going to close the deal. And by then, I'm real ripped. Looks like I might have to finish this story afterwards. Looks like they're going to have to finish 4 versus 5. And all right. Here we go. Back into the game. And they're going to have to try to finish this out 4 versus 5. This is the second time in my career I've actually seen this attempted. And it's really unpleasant, just to be blunt. I actually don't think this should be permitted. Because what ends up happening is you wind up in this situation where now Kaipi can just try to turtle this out and buy time for their teammate to come back. It's going to probably make for a not-so-good show. But anyway, maybe they're ahead enough. Maybe Ursa's big enough that he doesn't need a Venomancer to let him make more bear hats. But, I got to get out of storytelling mode. I got to get back to Dota mode. Okay, here we go. So, 9-5, we got 14 kills on the board. We're 16 minutes into this game. We take a look at our gold graph. We can see it's been level for a while during the duration of the pause. That was actually a really long pause. But as it stands right now, 5,000, the advantage of Kaipi in both. I'm going to guess that's accurate. And I like what they're doing with the Venomancer. Just sit him in the woods. It's fine. Because, I mean, what's a Veno going to do? He's going to hang back, he's going to shoot a Gale, then he's going to waddle, slither his way up, get off an ulti, and die. It's just what a Venomancer does. As it stands, Ursa hitting very hard already. Has the Aegis up as well. We're going to see a TP down the bottom. They've managed to clear out their first of the Tier 2s remaining for Empire. And right now, it's Empire just has to try to turtle, but I mean, obviously, playing 4 versus 5 makes it a little bit easier. Scandal just has so much distance to go, and he is going to be going with the prototypical Armlet Maelstrom build. He's already got the Blades of Attack up on his way to the Armlet. He'll get that up, then probably a Maelstrom. Though more and more, I'm seeing players opt to skip to go one or the other, and then get something like a Basher or an Abyssal. It's really just all down to preference. But KP, despite missing a player right now, I feel like would be very ill-served to play passive. It looks like they're on the same page. BKB's now done on... this is such a fat Ursa, my god. BKB, Vlad's, Blink Dagger, Aegis, Phase Boots. Already it's at 18 minutes into this game. And what's going to happen here is Empire's going to run out of real estate. We can already see the TP reaction back to mid. And Zissou up there with the Ursa, and they're going to be able to catch Windrunner. And it looks like Ursa's going to go ahead and go north. They feel confident being able to clean him up. I just heard an RP go off, and there you go. He caught everyone. And now Arai is going to make a run away from it. And Envy, being a little too YOLO for his own good, going to lose his Aegis for free. They did get the Windrunner in the process. Don't know why he felt the need to engage by himself. Arise really getting a little bit too chest out with his own RP, but does manage to follow it up with a kill on the Lesh track with Lesh and Windrunner both down. I don't know that Kaipi has the ability to really stop this. Or excuse me, I don't know that Empire would have the ability to stop this, but it doesn't look like Kaipi's going to force the issue one way or the other. Magnus, another pause. No idea what's going on. But anyway, I guess I'll take this opportunity to try and finish the game. Looks like we may have some more problems arising. But as it is, okay, let me finish my story as quickly as I can while we wait on this situation to revise itself. So I'm at this party, right? And, you know, my bro's closing the deal. At that point, I'm so tuned up, I'm not even looking to do anything. But, like, I'm already dreading the next morning. It's like 3 in the morning. We have to be back at this conference. We have to be up and out the door at 7. So chances are we're not going to sleep to begin with. Or if we do, it's like an hour. So I start shooting pool with some of the folks there, just counting on Buddy to do his thing, and you know, not really generally thinking all that clear-headed, but still having a good time. And bit by bit, people start dropping out of the pool game because we're playing like cutthroat. You know, it's not like teams or anything. So people just end up dropping out of the game. And before I know it, I find myself sitting in a room by myself with broken champagne bottles on the floor and all kinds of, well, I actually spilled champagne on this really nice red velvet pool table too, which I still feel bad about. It was just gorgeous pool table. I'm stagger drunk. I mean, I'm just so blasted. And I just wake up in the moment and realize I'm the only one shooting pool. You know, it's like anyone who's had that kind of a night where you drink for like 8 straight hours. You realize, sometimes it just happens. Like, you don't ever black out, but after a while, you just have a moment of clarity that I've been at this party, and I'm still the only one up drinking and partying. So I look at the time, and it's like 5:30 in the freaking morning, man. The sun's getting ready to come up and all this. So I go to find my buddy. And that's when it was me. That's when I knocked over the champagne glass on the pool table, too, which, again, really feel bad about that. So I'm wandering through this gigantic house that has like 85 bedrooms or some nonsense. And all I can do, like, I don't want to yell and wake people up, but I got to find my buddy. I mean, because we don't know where we are. Like, we just hopped in a cab, rode for like 15 minutes to some part of Alexandria. And we have no idea where the hell we are. Yep, looks like we're back underway. But anyway, hopefully that'll be our last issues. And I hate them. See, this is why I didn't want to tell that story. Because there's not a whole lot left to it, but it's all going to be broken up now. But anyway, we're 20 minutes in. We're already missing one, our Venomancer. And you can see he is apparently being controlled by Zissou. If I had to guess, that's what's happening. Empire now looking to find a way back into this game. The armlet going to be done on the bear soon, so Scandal finally making a little bit of progress. At this point, I maintain that Kaipi's best option is going to be to play aggressive. Playing back, not going to do them any favors. They had the Aegis popped. Roche is going to be back up in a few minutes. But I feel like they need to go ahead and take something else very soon. And it looks like players are saying they think they're being DDoS'd again. All right, so back to my story again. Okay, sorry, I had to take a drink. So anyway, finish my story. So I'm in this gigantic, unbelievably stereotypical WASP mansion, in Alexandria, Virginia. And I got to find a way back to the Clarendon area of D.C. And the only way I know to find my buddy, like I'm calling his phone, texting him, I'm not hearing it, anything like that. So I have to go through bedroom by bedroom and try to find him. Just, I'm creeping around a stranger's house. I'm like I didn't get shot. Just peeking in bedrooms, trying to see if maybe he sealed the deal with that girl and I got to wake him up. Maybe he's passed out in bed, whatever. So I'm literally cracking the door, seeing people having sex, cracking the door, seeing people lying in their own puke. I mean, and I did this for like 15 minutes, right? Checked like 6 rooms, at least 6 bedrooms. And I'm about ready to give up. Just like, man, he's a big boy. He'll wake up here and he'll know to call a cab or something like that. So I finally just had it. I say, I'm gonna go pee real quick. and get out of here, and he'll figure it out. So I go to pee, open the bathroom door, and there's my buddy laying on the floor of the bathroom with his shirt half unbuttoned and with a little bit of upchuck on his sleeve. Other than that, he was in a Brooks Brothers suit, so that's always fun. But he's there, and, you know, I have to do the, hey, wake up. Hey, let's go. Come on, let's go. So we get him up. We walk out the door, and we're like in this big, beautiful housing neighborhood, right? You know, like a subdivision is probably the way to put it. And I, you know, call information number and get a cab service for the general area I think we're in. And I'm like, hey, we need a cab. We need to get to Clarendon, and we need and you know, whatever. I'm just like, hey, we need a cab. They're like, okay, from where to where? And that's when it hits me. One, I don't know where the hell we are. Like, I can look at signs, but it's not like I can coach the dude to get there. Like, we're deep in this big ass subdivision. There's a number on the house, but other than that, there's no indication where we are. Then I don't know the address of where we're going. I know the name of the conference center. I know landmarks around it, but I have to like guess where we're going. Like, I can say that I tell him our hotel, but even then, you know, I don't know like the street numbers. So anyway, eventually I'm gonna rush it. Eventually the cab comes and gets us, and we end up tipping the dude $50 because he actually took us through McDonald's to get some breakfast because we were on our way to a real nasty hangover and we knew it. And yeah, and in the end, my buddy left his phone at that chick's house. So not the most climactic ending in the world, but at the same time, hopefully you enjoyed the story. We will call that the tale of the pool table and it's got to be the tale of two things: the tale of the pool table, the tale of the champagne and the pool table. There we go. Story time here on G1 League. That's why you guys tune in to One More Game TV too, right? Moving on. KP still down a man, missing their Venomancer, but hey, Zizu says, "No, I got it, bro." And let's at least be honest here. If there's any hero that they could have disconnect, the Venomancer's the best one by far. Throw out a Gale, walk in, use your ulti. Okay, yep. Now it's hitting me now. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days, huh? Perfect. Oh, boy. Well, now I wish I hadn't rushed through the endings. I probably could have stretched the ending of that story out and made it a bit more entertaining. Oh, I can add this. That we were actually asked to leave the conference center that morning because we rolled in with 0 sleep, and I guess I better go ahead and bounce this back to the front. We were actually asked to leave the conference center for the morning session of meetings because we were so hungover we were falling asleep in the back row. But anyway, guys, looks like it's going to be another fun day of disconnects and more. So hopefully you guys are nonetheless enjoying the show. Yep, I timed out as well. Reading in the chat, looks like everyone timed out. I'm going to reconnect now. But letting everyone know that, yes, it wasn't just them. It was me as well. Very sorry for the interruption to your morning dose of Daily Dota. But we hope that we'll be able to get something accomplished a little bit later on. And at this point, it's beginning to be obnoxious. I just hit reconnect. I don't know what we're going to do so far as the game. It's really unfortunate. For what it's worth, from my point of view, it's really hard to just declare a regame because Kaipi was really far ahead there. It's one thing if it was relatively close, but with the Druid in such bad position, with the lanes all being wins for Kaipi, and with all the towers missing, essentially, I have a real hard time accepting that a regame is acceptable there. But at the same time, with Venomancer missing, it's hard not to give an edge to Empire, at least in that regard. And looks like we're unable to establish connection to server. Oh, boy. All right, guys. No idea what the dealio happens to be, but we're going to try to get things under control. Welcome once again to One More Game TV, too. If it's the first time you've been hearing my voice, I really hope you hit follow, and we'll have you back in the future. We'll have all of your G1 action. Details about Season 3 of the D2L going to be forthcoming in the next week or two, as well as a lot of stuff. It's so secret. It's so secret I can't even tell you about it. So secret, can't even tell you about it. But, yeah, we got a lot going on here now and in the future, so we'd love to have you back. You can follow me on Twitter as well, at AC, at AYESEE. I'm going to go ahead and bring the music up for a bit. Maybe I'll come back and do some story time if I have to. But I'm going to talk with the G1 admins, and we're going to try to get this under control. I'm AC. You're watching the G1 Champions League Western Qualifier. We'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. Stick with us.
welcome to the next level.
What makes the motherfucker so damn fresh?
And we seem to be back. Maybe, perhaps. Okay, yeah. If there's no Venomancer. Yep, no Venomancer. Sorry, Veno. No Venomancer. Oh, somebody just disappeared too. Was that where Veno was? I don't know. Oh God. This is unpleasant. This is genuinely unpleasant. And the unfortunate news is I don't know for sure. I've heard many reports of Lone Druid bugging out, and we saw it in the D2L on Reload. Lone Druid, a hero that is known to bug out after reloads. But yeah, it looks like perhaps more DDoS. This is just unfortunate, and this is frustrating to me as a broadcaster. I can't even imagine how frustrating it is to the tournament admins and to the teams as a whole. I'll tell you what kills me is it's just such a shame, because this is going to change the way that we all have to do business now. Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. I mean, we can't make it private. Yeah, that's basically we're all going to have to stop using Skype. And that is such a shame that we can't even use... and that's actually more of a pain in the butt than most people give it credit for. Switching away from that, because I've probably got 300 contacts on my Skype. I use it to communicate with everyone. There's an RP going to be spent on Scandal. The Aegis is still up, so tell you the truth, if there's any, I mean, obviously losing the Venomancer is not very good for KP, but they do manage to maintain their Aegis. No idea on how long that Aegis is going to last, of course, but we'll just have to wait and see. And KP going to take down a tier 2, and they still got potential to win this. I mean, it sucks not having the Veno. I mean, it sucks a lot not having the Venomancer, basically. That is a lot of damage from his ultimate that they are out now. But even more so than ever, I think the emphasis has to be on fighting. Looks like we're going to have Bone pick himself up a set of drums. Arise, who has played a fantastic Magnus so far, is actually going to get himself a 4-staff as well. So Blink Dagger already done, working on the 4-staff now. But if you're in KP's shoes, you have to be thinking sooner rather than later is when you... Oh, nice. Manages to... Oh, what a hook! Bone coming from downtown. It was stolen by Rubik. Actually, I think he got battery assault, but they managed to clean up Blow Your Brain. Now they're going to catch SS. And even though the Split Earth is there, not enough to keep him alive. The buyback comes out of Blow. And Bone drops down the cogs. They managed to get away without losing the Aegis. Again, no real idea how long that Aegis is still going to be up. 12-3 and KP making it work. That was a fantastic hook out of this dude right here. Threw that hook from the river, came from downtown, and managed to secure the kill following the Blink Earth Shock out of the Ursa. The gold, yeah, basically these graphs don't matter anymore because, yeah, they just don't matter. No other way to say it. They are broken. And KP, and I'll tell you what I hate about this, and as soon as we see Blow might just be dead again. Or he might just kill Zizou. Nightmare's there, and Blow eating his way through. His help's on the way. The mag's right there, and Z's up. There it is. RP spent. We saw the brain sap to get him back into fighting shape. He's enfeebled as well. Rage up in 1 second. They better clean him up soon if they're going to. He infests into the bear. But yeah, Leshrak just eaten to death. There's another bear hat. Maybe 2 bear hats for Eternal Envy. Earth Shock's on Scandal. Brain Sap is there. The bear's doing some damage, but yes, that'll be another bear hat. And Blow will be able to make it away, but it cost them 2 heroes. That's bad math. That is not effective mathematic skills. So we got 1 Blow Your Brain. We won him alive. There's gonna 2 heroes to keep Blow alive. Didn't really work out, Empire. And now that we're going to have a break, I'll tell you what I hate about this more so than anything, is no matter win, lose, or draw, you can't take it seriously. Because there's this weird situation where even being down a hero, if it happens at the right time, against the right lineup, and with the right circumstances, you can actually benefit a little bit just because you don't have 5 heroes all looking to share experience. And Venomancer maybe not quite as bad as some others, just because Veno basically going to throw out 2 abilities every fight. That's going to be his ult and his Gale. And then other than that, likely to wind up dead. But win, lose, or draw, I mean, KP was so far ahead, I don't particularly think it's that impressive if they win. And I don't think it's really impressive if Empire manages to come back whenever they're playing 5-on-4. So it's a really unfortunate way for this series to end. One way or the other, and it may not end. We may end up going to a Game 3. But with now we're going to have a skewer here in mid. Looks like we get another engagement. Nightmare on Rubik. And there's going to be a hook to follow up on Vigos. And yeah, he will end up dead. In the meantime, they're trying to find SS. They don't have a stun, so he will be able to TP away. Reaction now there. They're going to engage out onto the Clockwork. There's the RP. Got 3 once more. Fiend's Grip is there. There's the Earth Shock. And Scandal going to be blown up. Blow Your Brain next on the list. Toggling the armlet, trying to keep himself alive. Blink Dagger in 1 second. And the open wound's not going to save him. He actually, yeah, there we go. Good skewer. 17-5, and Kaipi continues to just go to town on Empire. And I'll tell you, this is something I hadn't thought about. And granted, the execution, and Kaipi really was helped out a lot by Empire in this game. Really helped out a lot by some particularly odd lane choices out of Empire. But Ursa as a counter to a Lifestealer and to a Lone Druid actually makes a ton of sense. I think that he could function even better if you have a hero like a TA in mid, for example. And this is just theory crafting. But if you can find a way to have even a Juggernaut, for example, a Juggernaut plus an Ursa lineup to deal with a lineup like Empire showed us, I think is very, very viable. And I would love to see Ursa make it into, like, actually fairly common being picked. Ursa's just fun to watch, man. He just is. And continuing to add to his gold, he's got 2,600 gold in the bank. BKB, Blink Dagger, Vlads. We'll see what he wants to pick up next. I do believe a Skull Basher would be all right. He could just about one-shot buy that right now if he wants. And the Aegis does fade, so Roche should be up in 4 minutes. At 25, it should be up almost exactly. And Kaipi very much in control of this game. Still 2 outer tier towers remaining, but Kaipi's only lost 1 tower as of right now, by the way. Taking a look at the experience, I have to look at it this way because it really doesn't make any sense for me to look at the build and experience graphs. I mean, yeah, this is basically meaningless. But, I mean, just looking at the levels, they're ahead in every regard. Ursa's at the top, Lifestealer's in range, but after that, you've got level 8 on Rubik Leshrak. Compare that to 10, 11, 13 on the supporting cast of Kaipi. And they should honestly be able to finish this out. RP is up already. He's got 4-stab Blink Dagger. Bane making his way up. Bane actually built himself a Blink Dagger. Really nice pickup. Looks like it's going to be probably a 4-staff pickup on Clockwork as well. And I don't even know that they can challenge this. Like, they'd have to TP to the tier 3, and it's just going to be gone by then. They're going to try to trade. If I'm Kaipi, I just rush it, man. Rush to tier 3. There's no reason not to. And it looks like that might be what they do. They're dipping back and forth. Yep, this is a good call. Forced them to react. And here we go. Could be a decisive fight. What a hook! Caught him from nowhere. The Druid skewered back. Arise has been phenomenal this game. We're going to see Vigas locked down. He's gone. Blow your brain. Forced to pull back and out of the fight. SS trying to do what he can, and we see Arise actually cancel on the RP. What a game this has been for Kaipi. What a series this has been for that man right there. Saves the Ursa with the RP. Now can they follow it up? Fresh back up is Blow Your Brain. Fresh out of the well. And it looks like they may eventually be forced out. But despite that, still took a lot out of Empire to hold the line. Roche should be back up momentarily. 2,800 gold on Blow Your Brain, so he is beginning to feel very scary. We should see Roche up in about 2 minutes. Yep, they're actually, never mind. He'll just come back up now. That's fine too. But what a series this has been for Arise. And I'll tell you what, Clockwork Bone has been playing quite well as well. And yeah, the Basher going to be the choice for the Lifestealer as well. And a Basher for Eternal Envy too. Now, this is where things do get a bit chancy. We're past 20 minutes, and the farm is going to begin to kick in a bit for Lone Druid and for the Lifestealer. Lone Druid just about has his armlet done. Couple hundred more gold, he'll be golden in that regard. Lifestealer with his Basher, that Midas basically has paid for itself now. So it's all good stuff. Looks like we're having some of the patented broadcaster disconnect, and they may be able to get Windrunner. Yep, nice Nightmare. And there you go. Rocket Flare enough to secure that kill. That's 45 seconds she's down, and Roche is up. No reason in the world Kaipi can't go take a free Roche right now. And yeah, Ursa, when he's empowered with his ult on, is hitting for 340 damage at 24 minutes in. He gets an Abyssal Blade. It's going to be even worse. Wow, I'm really surprised he just did that. Maybe looking to go just get a kill on Scandal. Yep, that's all it is. And you think maybe he's doing some damage? Wearing another bear hat. He's wearing a bear hat made out of bear. Hey, bro, I heard... Oh, nice RP. Going to catch 2. Followed up. This is just... this is getting ugly. See, that is actually really rude, Arise. I'm talking about bear hats. I was getting ready to make... I heard you like bear hats, so I put a bear in your bear hat. You know, that kind of thing. But Ursa, Eternal Envy, has really had 2 phenomenal games. He's played very well. First on Anti-Mage, now on the Ursa Warrior. And Roshan, next on the kill list, stick his mandible onto the man's head. What about proboscis? Is that what that is? Is that the correct term? Does he have a proboscis? I think I want to say a proboscis is more like dangles, right? I'd have to zoom back in on him. He's definitely got the mandibles. I just wonder if maybe like there's a little proboscis there that I'm missing. I just like the word proboscis. I'm gonna have to add that to the list of names I play under whenever I matchmake. Got a few. Go Motors 1, that comes from a broadcast of me being tired and loopy. I think proboscis. needs to be the next one. Anyway, the last outer tier tower remaining for Empire, not going to be standing too much longer. And they are officially out of real estate. And Ursa up, hook going to be off the mark. But at this point, it's just up to what they want to do. He's basically just, he's going to go finish his Abyssal and push. This is working out very well. Boink. There you go. Abyssal Blade picked up. And he's actually going to blink into mid now. He's just going head hunting and oh, blow your brain. He's got a TP. And spotted out by the rocket flare. And there's Magnus as well. Chasing him out. And the Druid's there too. They better get there quick. There you go. Blow's going to rage, but the Abyssal. Oh, wow. He actually got away, rooted down, and was bashed as well. Now they're going to try to engage. RP, once again, going to catch the bear and the Druid, plus another one. And, yep, Scandal being blown up. And RP was actually stolen. I just heard it used by Rubik. So they are going to be able to turn this around. And the Aegis going to get him back up and fighting. He's telekinesis backwards. Buyback from Bane. He's going to be rooted down, but here comes Clockwork. Lands the cogs. Following the hook, they're going to be able to clean her up. In the meantime, Ursa didn't even see where he went. There he is. Chasing down Rubik, and this might be that. The buyback's more or less spinning. Okay, Bone. Just die. just walk up and face tank the bear. Why don't you? 29-9. And Ursa healing himself up via the lifesteal from Vlad's. Here comes the TP back.
Is under attack.
And let's see. Yep, Envy's just going to go for it, man. There's the rage. And now maybe overextending himself a little bit. He's got a team behind him. RP's up in 38 seconds. They may just want to back. Oh, nice attempt there. They get the bear at the very least, but only so much value that's going to bring. And now Zissou slowed down from the Orb of Venom, and Ursa on the high ground going to go for it. Moves back down and pops his BKB in the meantime. And he gets the bash off on the Lesh. Blow Your Brain's in bad shape as well. They're forced to retreat. Looks like he just wanted to save the Bane. I think he could have taken a fight there, but here comes Windrunner using the mech. And that's a very long shackle shot. In the meantime, Nightmare spent on Vigas. And a back and forth tug of war that is going to end with Empire still maintaining their tier 3s. Cost KP and Aegis there to make all that happen. Roche back up in a few minutes. But they need to make something happen permanently. Yep, see, told you. I was worried that was going to happen. The bear tends to be glitched. But anyway, making do with what we got. 29 minutes in, we got 38 kills on the board. The vast majority of them, more than 2/3, belonging to Kaipi, under the stewardship of Eternal Envy, who has played great in both games. First on Anti-Mage in Game 1, now in Game 2, with the Ursa Warrior pickup. And there's going to be Windrunner spotted out. Zissou has played really well as well. Kaipi's just played well all around, man. There's really no other way to say it. Now, she's down for 50 seconds. They may want to push off of this. They got a creep wave in mid and bottom if they want to use it. 1,200 gold on the Ursa. Taking a look at the buyback. He doesn't quite have it, but he will momentarily. He's only 200 gold off. Buyback's up on Blow Your Brain. That fact is very key. Lone Druid with his buyback as well. But having it up on Blow Your Brain is absolutely essential. And he's got more than enough. Yeah, so he can die and still have enough gold to buy back. They're going to have to get in a position, because this could be a decisive fight. Kaipi's going to run out of time if they're not careful. Oh, another good hook. He's going to get Lesh this time. Battery Assault going to be procced. What happened? Oh, no, a disaster for Arise, who has played so well, just whiffing entirely on the RP. They've got to get out. Empire chasing them out. Zissou caught with the root. Now we're going to have a re-engagement. Shackle comes out. BKB's up. Down go the cogs again, but with Eternal Envy about to drop, he's got to retreat. Force Staff gets him out of range of the tower. Oh, Arise. Whiffing on the RP. That hurt them so badly. It was an absolutely beautiful shot of the hook. Oh, now Eternal Envy's gone. At 711 gold. That actually might be the end of this game in all practicality. because we can see Scandal now beginning to catch up a little bit in his farm, but more importantly, Blow Your Brain is going to be in much better shape. And, well, they hang around, and now the 4-staff out. Here comes Arise once again, but Blow's going to go ahead and take the tower. Now just going to TP away. Skewer not going to be able to get him as he had just enough time on Rage. Now they're going to get Rubik. Okay, now Rubik's down for a while. This is a game where, given they're missing a hero, they do still want to push as often as they can. Rose should be back up soon. Yeah, about 4 minutes. They got a reprieve there. With Rubik down for 30, they may want to look to get something else done and keep them from farming. The Druid's still way behind, but he is catching up. Ursa's still way ahead, but he's basically the team's entire damage. And that's the thing that is such a loss for the Venomancer. Yeah, they only lose 2 spells. The Gale's great. But losing the damage that they could usually count on coming out of Poison Nova is crippling. Now they're just going to go for it, and Scandal going to be the target. Here comes the hook as well, and the feeds grip on Blow Your Brain. That might be enough. No, the follow-up on the Split Earth delays it, but only delays the inevitable. Good skewer from Arise, making up for the whiff on the RP, and that might be that. Moving back up, ready to take the tier 3. They're going to glyph it. Where's the buyback? Who has buyback? No buyback on Blow Your Brain this time. And now SS cogged in. He's going to be cleaned up. He's out. Vigas, the only one left standing, and he cannot hang for long. Enfeebled can't even deny it. And they may end up losing a set of racks now. Back and forth tug of war. Time looked to be running out for Kaipi. After being forced out that last time and missing that opportunity, I thought that might be a point where we looked back 10 minutes from now and said that they had just sealed the deal. It could have been the difference in the game. With the carry potential of the Life Stealer and the Lone Druid, inevitably going to catch up, but Vigas going to be hit with another hook. And Ursa blinks in as well. Not going to keep him alive, but with the BKB pop, there's an RP! And the skewer back, they get the bear. The Druid's there as well. Scandal. Wrong place, wrong time. And the shockwave as he's 4-staffed away. Here comes Blow Your Brain. He wants to fight, but the Abyssal. More than enough, and the GGs come out. Kaipi in a game marred with technical issues. Down 1 man. Able to walk away with a Game 2 victory, going 2-0 over the Empire squad. They advance and knock Empire out of the G-1 Western Qualifier. This guy right here. I don't care if he's disconnected or not. Arise, Zizou played well. Bone played well. What a series for them as a team. Phenomenal play across the board. And it took us a little longer than anticipated. But even with the fist missing its thumb, they're able to deliver the knockout blow. Empire bows out early of the G1 Western Qualifiers, losing 0-2 to the upstart Kaipi, who will advance to our next round. What a series. And I am impressed as hell with the way Kaipi's played today. I have not broadcasted them in a long time, and I hope I get to broadcast them a lot more soon. Fantastic play all around. 34 minutes, 10 seconds, the official game time. 42-11, the final kill score. We can put this one in the books.